MORPH television pilot excerpt for reading by Christine Davis. Act 1. Fade in, exterior Los Angeles River ravine, morning. The concrete ravine through which the Los Angeles River flows, when there's enough water for it to, is completely dry save for a small trickle running through the center. Both sides are lined by a high chain link fence. Debris litters the ravine. The concrete is cracked in spots. Kneeling next to the body of a dead male on his side, curled up in a half-fetal position, victim, 40s, athletic, no visible marks, is Pablo Espinoza, 30s, Latino, clean cut. As he inspects the body, men and women from the Los Angeles Police Department mill around looking for evidence, and a photographer takes crime scene photos. A shadow falls over Pablo and the victim. Pablo looks up and nods to acknowledge the newcomer.
Detective?
Pablo resumes his examination of the body.
What you got for me, Pabs?
We now see the detective as none other than Jack Oberman, the same man from the teaser. He looks perfectly healthy, no trace of what we saw happening to him. A Chiron places us 46 hours earlier.
No trace of rigor, so I'd say he's pretty fresh. Body temp would seem to confirm that.
Jack crouches next to the body, looks it over top to bottom.
COD?
Nothing obvious. My money's on that being another one of our mystery deaths. What's that make? 4 now?
If he's got those same chemicals in his system, then yeah.
Jack stands up, sees 2 men coming toward them. Jimmy Scott, 50s, fading redhead, lifelong cop, and Morty Abramovitz, 30s, good-looking, sturdy build. Jack narrows his eyes as they approach, recognizing Jimmy and studying Morty.
Another one of your no-formal COD bodies?
Jack nods grimly, looks down at the victim.
Looks like it might be.
Morty moves past Jimmy and Jack, crouches next to the victim's head, snaps on a pair of latex gloves from his pocket. Jack looks down at him. What do you think you're doing? And gestures to Jimmy, like, explain.
Detective Jack Oberman. Meet your new partner, Detective Morty Abramowitz.
My new what?
Jimmy flaps a hand at Jack, no time for protests.
Kicked ass undercover in San Fran, made detective regularly. You can read his file later if you want. As of now, you're a team. I want this damn case solved.
Jimmy walks away to speak with other LAPD officers, leaving Jack to turn and stare down at where Morty is opening one of the victim's eyelids and peering at his eyeball, while Pablo is putting evidence and tools away in his kit.
The hell are you doing?
Morty looks up at him. He's sure of himself. He grins, squinting into the morning sun.
Nice to meet you, too.
Morty gets to his feet, removes the gloves, and holds a hand out towards Jack.
Jack Oberman, the legend.
Hardly. How long on the report?
For you, detective, as fast as I can. I don't have, 10 other DBs waiting on my back at the morgue or anything.
Morty chuckles. Jack makes a face and turns to go. Morty holds out a hand to Pablo.
Morty, nice to meet you.
Pablo removes his right latex glove and shakes Morty's hand.
Pablo Espinoza, good luck reining that one in.
Yeah? You got a problem with partners?
Pablo and Morty look up at Jack's protruding form.
Nah, just a problem with people in general.
Morty nods. Okay, good info to have.
Well, I better catch up to him. Later.
Pablo nods as he waves in 2 nearby men who have a stretcher and body bag to take the victim away. Morty jogs to catch up with Jack. They're walking briskly toward where we can see all personnel are coming and going from. An open gate in the chain link fence at the top right of the ravine.
I familiarized myself with the case on the flight here.
Good.
Just got in this morning.
Nothing. Morty's not deterred.
There's one thing I couldn't find anywhere in your notes.
Oh yeah? What's that?
The reason you started this case out 3 months ago with a partner, but now have presumably reached body number 4 without one.
Jack stops dead in his tracks. Morty shoots past him, stops, turns, faces him.
He couldn't hack it.
Hack what? These are the cleanest DBs I've ever seen.
Jimmy walks past them.
He wasn't talking about the bodies.
Morty. Ah. Jack starts walking again. Morty falls into place next to him.
Well, I don't scare that easy.
Jack doesn't respond. They begin up the side of the ravine.
I started a little research into the chemicals Espinoza found in the previous victim's blood. I couldn't find any identification of the substance listed in the case file, and Espinoza's notes tell me that he's not having any better luck. When I got off the plane, I contacted a pal of mine at JK Research near San Diego to see what he might be able to tell me.
By this time, they've reached the top edge of the ravine and gone through the gate. Jack stops, staring at Morty.
What?
Jack blinks. Morty grins. Jack shakes his head like, what the hell kind of guy did my boss just saddle me with?
There's something to be said about having a second set of eyes, you know. First case I worked after being promoted was
Exterior Los Angeles Street, continuous. Jack has moved away from the ravine and down the street to a car, which we take to be his. He's at the driver's side. Morty moves around to the passenger side.
Where are you going?
with you.
Jack is nonplussed.
We're partners now.
Jack opens the door and gets in.
Great. Just great.
Jack starts up the car, and as it pulls away from the curb, we hear,
Now, like I was saying, first case I got right after being promoted was a guy who murdered his stepdaughter. But Cheney, he was the detective on the case, couldn't get the evidence to prove it. Well, when I got on that
You
one,
always talk this much?